This is Don at Airbrush Technique. In this little video we're going to be going over using two-part stencils. This one happens to be from Kustom Shop. I recently had to do 180 skulls on a Legends race car. This is one of the stencils I used. I'm going to show you real quickly how to use a two-part stencil. Makes it so simple that just about anybody can airbrush a skull. We're going to be using an Iwata HP-CS airbrush, House of Kolor base coats, white, black. Just going to do a simple, quick skull. I just want to show you how to use these templates. First, you want to attach your template to your painting surface. Fog it in with a little white. Don't be concerned about overspray at this point. Don't go nuts with the white either here, because you want it to end up being a gray actually, so that when you go back in and add your white it has something to bounce off of. Next we're going to position part 2, and as you can see there's holes in these stencils and you just line them up with each other. So use tape or magnets to hold it in place depending on the surface you're painting on. I'm painting on a sign blank I get from Sign Warehouse. When you get them, they're white. I just scuff them, shoot them with single stage black, let it dry, scuff it with Comet water and a red Scotch brake pad, and you have a great practice surface. Now we're going to use base black. You can go two ways with this. You can go real lightly on the detail end of it so that you can change this skull to look any way you want, or you can go real heavy with the black so that all your detail lines are really well defined, and just go with the program pretty much the way the stencil is. I wouldn't go solid black in here because as it goes out towards the side of the skull there's still going to be some bone structure. You want to leave some interesting color in here to hold people's attention, to make it more interesting. The nose area, we'll do fairly black. I'm going to stick with the basic program here. So when I spray my black, I'm going to be spraying it fairly heavily so that pretty much all the details are already on here. Again, if you want to change this skull up in any way, shape, or form, at this point you would just go easy with the black so that you can change it and not have the real hard lines that I just put in there with all that black. And there you have our skull. At this point, if you're not comfortable freehanding it and controlling the overspray, you can pull this off, or you can leave it on to help you define the skull even more. Again, we're going to go back in with our base white. Because we want this to appear to be a round skull, we want to trick the human eye into believing this flat skull is a round skull. We want to pull the center of the skull out. His two middle teeth on the top and the bottom, and the bridge of his nose. And maybe some bone structure above and below his eye, the cheekbones. With that being said, you want to use more white in these areas that you want to pull forward in the painting to make it, to trick the human eye into believing it's round. You want to follow the structure wherever you're painting. We're painting a round skull supposedly, so we want to paint accordingly. You don't want to go straight across the skull. And in the center we're going to use a little bit more white than other areas, for the reasons I just explained. We want to pull those forward in the painting. Once you get in there brushing a little more, it'd be worth looking up what warm and cool colors are and how they can help you achieve tricking the human eye into believing that the flat surface is actually round. And we'll pull it off. And there you can see we have our skull. The rest we're just going to freehand. Not going to worry about overspray. Pays to have a tack rag handy so you can continue to tack it off. Jump down and work on the teeth a little bit. Keep in mind that you want the teeth to appear as if they're in a round skull. So the front couple of teeth you want to really highlight. The back teeth you want to recede in the painting. help give the impression that this whole thing is round. Let's rough the teeth in with white. We're going to be coming back with black to help define them. Jump back up on the forehead again. Keep your airbrush directed in towards the skull and help control your overspray. Just a matter of building your color up slowly, layer after layer. Now we're ready to move on to the black again. None of these bones in this skull are flat. There's going to be areas of the bone that catch more light than others, and so they're going to be highlighted. You're going to use more white in that area than others. Since this is a fictitious skull, we have no photographic reference. It's pretty much up to you where your light source is coming from and where those hot spots would be. Work in the eye area. Again, you don't want to just go throw a bunch of black in there. You want to leave the eyes interesting. Push these teeth in the side back, give the impression that it's round. Bottom jaw a little bit will highlight. We'll bring the center of the teeth out, so you want to add more white to that area and let it drift off the sides. There you pretty much have it. Now we're going to dress this design up real easy, real quick, with just a handheld or a barbed wire stencil for temporary tattooing. Throw some silver in here. $2 stencil. Go back in with our black. Get our tack rag. Once it's dry, tack it off again. Get all this excess metal floating around from our silver. Go back in with our black and just fade this barbed wire a little bit. The ends of it, so it looks like it's coming out of the black. And there you have it. This is Don at Airbrush Technique. I hope you got something out of this short video on two-part stencils, how easy they are to use, how you can dress them up real easily. Be sure to check out howtoairbrush.com for free airbrush lessons, tutorials, and our support forum, airbrushtechnique.com. It's only paint. Have fun.